Good day and welcome to the show. I'm Rex. Today I have on the show Dr. Zach, and he's going to help us through some movement exercises. If you're like me and you suffer from lower back pain while sitting at your desk, well, today's the show to watch. Zach, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. How's your confinement going?
It's going. Not obviously not ideal, but doing the best I can, hanging in there.
Yeah, good on you. Yeah, that's good. Looking for things to do and all of that, just like all of us, I guess.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So I imagine you're used to seeing patients in an office. So seeing patients out of your home is a little bit different.
Yeah. It's kind of uncharted territory for everyone, I would say, therapists included. Just, I don't know, being used to being in the office and being a hands-on type of therapist. It's new grounds doing treatments and stuff via telehealth and interviews like this. So
yeah, virtual medicine, virtual movement. You know, we're doing virtual movement exercises and stuff like that. So Zach, what kind of advice can you give those of us that are now working from home and not moving around like we normally do, not sitting at the right desk? How can you help us?
Well, there's actually lots of stuff that not only I can do, but people's therapists are able to do, and a lot of that's just going to go into an education realm and just sort of helping you understand your condition and what's going on and helping to give you the tools to manage on your own. And just realizing that this time that we're in right now is a highly stressful time, a lot of stress and anxiety going around with everybody, and you need to realize that that's going to be a big driver in people's pain, whether it's low back pain or neck pain. And the fact that we're all self-isolated as well and just not able to do our sort of daily routines and definitely not moving and exercising as much is also going to contribute to that. So just doing what we can when we can and not beating ourselves up too much about the situation that we find ourselves in, right?
Yeah, so true. The mental health, the physical health, it's all at a challenge, isn't it? It's yeah. Well, do you have anything? So people have set up these temporary workspaces from home. What do you think? Like, what's the optimal? What should we be looking for? What should we be watching out for or avoiding?
Well, a big thing is going to be adjusting your posture from time to time, and not so much stressing about always having the perfect posture. What we really want to do is have a large variety of postures to sort of not aggravate tissues and aggravate that achy low back of yours. Some of the biggest tips that I would have is sort of taking micro breaks throughout the day. So I even recommend this when you're in the office, is setting a reminder on your phone, whether it's every 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but at least sort of once an hour type thing, setting that reminder and sort of going through a real quick, doesn't have to be long, like 1 to 2 minutes of just movement, basically. Stretches, a couple exercises type thing, just keep it simple. And then sort of doing your best to get daily exercise from home. Whether that's, some of the big things is making sure you're at least going for like a 30-minute walk a day. And then whether it's just body weight exercises or getting some bands or whatever, and just doing a little bit of an exercise at home. But also not beating yourself up if you're not able to get to those things. I think it's going to be a big thing.
Yeah. What about the office setup itself, like keyboards, mice, and all those types of things? You know, we might have 2 screens at the office or an elevated screen. Is there anything we can do just around the home? Or are there tips and tricks for that? You know, setting the right height on your chair?
Couple things you can do. One is going to be to prop that screen up so that it's at eye level with you, so you're not constantly looking down at it. Another thing is going to be just with your chair, just making sure you're not sitting on the couch for hours on end, getting a nice supportive chair. And if low back pain is something that you're dealing with, getting either lumbar rolls which is just a little small pillow, or rolling up a tea towel just to sort of place in that low back and through there to give you a little bit of support throughout the day.
Perfect.
It's probably going to be the biggest things. And other than that, just getting up and moving.
Good advice. Okay. And I'm going to take that advice. What about an exercise? Do you have an exercise you can walk us through? Something we can do at home that's...
Yeah. So I'll take you through sort of just like a quick, this is what I used to do when I was back in school studying all the time for hours on end. Just kind of every 30 minutes, I would just go through a quick little flow. So I'll show you guys what I would do here.
Great. And I know you're working from home, so you have to readjust your camera and all that. So that looks good right there.
Exactly. So this is my little workout studio here. I like to keep it pretty simple. Doesn't have to be anything crazy.
Hey, Zach, can you move the chair out of the way?
Yeah. It doesn't have to take... So it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It doesn't have to take a really long time. But again, just setting a reminder in your phone, sort of going through a flow just like this every 20 to 30 minutes type thing. So I like to start just getting a couple squats in. Don't want to go all the way to the ground. Oh, 10 of those type thing. And then another thing, so as we sit all day, we end up in this sort of flexed posture. We want to counteract that a little bit and promote some extension through the low back. So you do this standing, just extending backwards as much as you can. Oh, 10 of those type thing. And then another thing that tends to happen when we sit for a long time with our legs up like this is our hip flexors tend to get quite tight. So I just go through a quick little hip flexor stretch, and I'll show you this from a couple angles so you can see. So you're in a sort of half kneeling position. What we want to do, we don't want to arch to the back. We just want to push the hips straight forward. Should feel good full in the front of the hips. And then to intensify that, just lifting that same arm up overhead. You can even bend to the side a little bit if you want to intensify that one a little bit. Hold that 15, 20 seconds type deal. And I'll just show you that from a different angle here with the other leg. It's the same thing. Pushing those hips forward. Bring that arm up overhead. And if you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can tilt to the side there. And the last one I like to do, since we're already in this sort of half kneeling position, just get that mid back moving a little bit. So same position here. One hand's going to go inside of that bent knee there. And we're just going to rotate that just like that. About 5 or 6 per side. And you're good to go back to work. So as you can see, it doesn't take too long at all, about a minute or two, but you'll notice a big difference throughout the day. Notice a big difference throughout the day just in terms of managing pain and keeping your low back and mid back nice and happy.
Fantastic. Oh, that was great, Zach. Thanks for that. Thanks for taking the time out today to help us through this this mobility challenge that we've got.
Yeah, not a problem.
Well, Zach, I want you to stay mobile, stay safe, and yeah, come back on the show. We'll give you a shout out, and we'll see what other things you can help us with in the coming days.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks very much. We'll talk to you soon. All right, that's all we've got for today, and we'll be back again with another show on Business Cas with Rex.